Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
And welcome to another episode of Rankum. We're doing another wrestling topic for a change. Doing top 12 wrestlers' entrance musics. And we've got a great panel. We've got Steve here. Steve, how's it going?
It's all going very well, my friend. I'm coming off a very good weekend, just coming back from Orlando and for MegaCon, so I'm doing very well. Came back home safe, and topping the night off by picking and figuring out which are the top 12 wrestling teams of all time. So I'm excited for this. So
we've also got Zach here. Zach, how's it going?
Good. Yeah. Usually I'm on here to talk about movies, and I thought it would be kind of interesting to get into talk about wrestling and especially theme songs. So thanks for having me. And
last but not least, we've got Jacob Barber. Jacob, how's it going?
Going well, Malcolm. Long time no see. It's been a minute, right? No, we talked some wrestling yesterday, or we're talking some wrestling today. Always a good time on Rankum. So thank you for having me once again. I'm excited to see what makes the list and what gets nominated.
Yeah, and yeah, how's this going to go? It's going to go around in a round table, bring in each nominate a theme song I think belongs on a top 12 list. Because there is only 4 people today, it's going to it's going to come down to the other 3 people on the panel, whether it makes the list or not. And I said this in chat, I'll just say this here now, just because someone tells us off. It's wrestlers' interest themes. It's not specific to a certain company. So so you can go from any company, and that if you like the entrance music and think they belong here, then you can nominate them. But only one per wrestler. So there are some wrestlers they have multiple different themes. It's just one per wrestler. Because otherwise it could end up with 5 Triple H themes on here. I don't know if he's got 5, but but
he's got at least 3.
Yeah. But with that, Steve, we're going to go to you first. What is the first one you're going to nominate?
The first one, you all know I'm a big New Japan fan. But this guy was the one that got me into New Japan, and he transitioned into WWE in 2016, and I was there for his first match. So I'm gonna have to go with Shinsuke Nakamura's theme, because just from the beginning, from NXT Takeover Dallas 2016, that theme song has been a banger. I mean, eventually everybody got to singing along with it, especially when he got into the main roster. And let's not also forget, we can forget the match that happened before, but his WrestleMania 34 entrance is probably one of my favorite entrances of all time, with Nina Strauss, a killer guitarist, accompanying him in New Orleans to the ring. So I'm going to nominate Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance for the first one to go up.
Zach, what do you say about Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yeah, I was making my list, and I have a good number, but I forgot about his, and I actually really do like his, so I'm going to say yes.
Jacob, what do you say about Shinsuke Nakamura?
So there were 3 criteria that I was going over when making my list, and that was how iconic is the theme. Would I just listen to it? Would I just put it on the Spotify playlist and listen to it? And how the crowd reaction? And this one, it so far it fits 2 of those 3. I don't know how iconic it would be. It's only been 10 years, so time will tell. But I could listen to this daily. Every time it hit. Not recently, but at the height of his popularity, the crowd was reacting to it. Like you said, singing along to it. So. Yeah, not the first one I expected to be brought up, but I'm not mad at it because it probably would have been the first one I brought up too. So I'm going to give it a big yes.
Yeah, this is this is an easy yes for me as well. I think this one is a pretty great one just to listen to, and it's one of those ones and it's also just a fun one to listen to. And I actually don't mind the new sort of darker remix that they did when he went like recently. I think that's pretty cool. But his initial theme I think is still great. So it's still a yes for me. So Shinsuke Nakamura is going to make the list. Zach, we go to you next.
A lot of good choices. I'm gonna go with, again, some of these I don't know the name of them, but Kane's theme. I always thought that was kind of cool, and you knew what you were getting into when you heard that theme. So I'm gonna nominate Kane's theme.
He's had a few. Are you specifically thinking of like the slow chemical one?
Yeah.
Jacob, what do you say about Kane's slow chemical theme?
Yeah, no, it's a good one. Man, I think it represents Kane really well and his character. This is a tough one. It's probably, on the borderline for me personally. I'm gonna give it a slight no, but if it makes the list, I'm not gonna be upset.
I like Kane. I think he's good, but this is one. It's one of those ones that, like, well, yeah, I get that it does fit Kane, but it also sounds like one of those ones that, like, it can play as, like, sometimes you're struggling to think out who it is as well. So yeah, it's going to be a slight no for me as well. But Steve, what do you say about Kane's slow chemical theme?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say a slight no as well. I mean, the song itself is a banger, but you could say it's not real. I don't think it has really stood the test of time, and it hasn't really resonated throughout the whole years. Hence, why I would say no to it. So yeah.
Jacob, we go to you next. What is your first theme you're going to bring up?
Yeah, there's a couple that I'm thinking of. I'm sure both of them will get brought up, so I'll just bring it the first one that came to mind when you presented this topic, and that's going to be Real American, Hulk Hogan's theme. Say what you want about him as a person or as a wrestler, his theme music is just so iconic. Yeah, Real American is going to be my first nomination.
Yeah, I think Real American is a good theme. It's one of those ones that that for whatever reason I don't have my Spotify, but I don't listen to it a lot either. I'll give it a slight no. I think it's going to make the list anyway, but I'll give it a slight no. But Steve, what do you say about Hulk Hogan's theme, Real American?
Honestly, I was never a Hulk. To be honest with you, I was never a Hulk Hogan fan, and I was just irritated by the song. So that's straight no for me.
And Zach, what do you say about Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, while it's a good song, there are more others that I have in front of it at least on my list, so it would just be a slight no for me.
But that Hulk Hogan is not going to make the list. I'm going to try for this one. It's another relatively recent theme, but it's one of those ones that has caught on a lot. And let's just say, I believe. And it's just Joe Hendry's theme. Look, yeah, I mean, I don't know how long he's been in TNA and using that theme for, but like, he's kind of blow up like really recently. The whole like hymns like, and just hearing it and like in the Rumble, and there's like the crowd reaction is definitely there. Like everyone loves singing along and like waving their arms to him. So I was like, it's just one of those themes which, yes, it's a recent theme, but it's one that has caught on a lot, and everyone just loves singing it. Steve, what do you say about Joe Hendry's theme?
Well, I do believe in Joe Hendry, I don't believe this should be on the list. I know, it is a recent song. I mean, recent being like, whatever, it came out almost like 7 years ago, but I just don't I have like so many other themes in front of Joe Hendry that I would rather have been nominated, that I want to nominate or that should be included. That's not it's like maybe 20. Like it would be in my 20, but not my 12. So I'm gonna give it a slight no.
Zach, what do you say about Joe Hendry's theme?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Steve. There's other themes that I would rather have in front of it. And yes, it's big, but in a way, I feel like it's a little overdone now. But that's just me. But I would say give it a slight no.
Jacob, what do you say about Joe Hendry?
Well, I believe in Joe Hendry, but yeah, the theme song it's catchy, it's good. Ask me in a couple years, and maybe I'll say yes. But right now, I think it might be just a little too soon. But yeah, no, it's a good one, and yeah, he's gotten himself over, and people sing along to it. So yeah, it's close to, but a little too soon.
Yeah. But Steve, what is the next one you're going to bring up?
All right, so I talk about my favorite wrestler, but I want to also talk about probably one of the best wrestlers in the world. Unfortunately, he's no longer competing in AEW. So I am saying that the final countdown for Bryan Danielson, which was used sporadically in AEW, but used predominantly in Ring of Honor from his I believe from 2005 to 2009. Even the fact that Tony Khan was able to buy the rights for Europe's The Final Countdown and be not overuse it, but use it in different spots, whether it was the entrance or during Anarchy in the Arena. And you always have, whether it was 500, whether it's 200, 500, 1,000, thousands of people, they will always count when the chorus reached to it. They will always say, "It's the final." Everybody would be saying it, no matter if you were in the arena or not. You're probably yelling at the team, "It's the final countdown." So I'm going to nominate the final countdown for Bryan Danielson.
Zach, what do you say about the final countdown for Bryan Danielson?
I'm going to give it a slight yes, simply because I actually like that song. So I'm gonna give it a slight yes.
Jacob, what do you say about the final countdown for Bryan Danielson?
I'm not giving it a slight yes. I'm giving it a big yes. I was there for Bryan's last match at Wrestle Dream in Tacoma, and yeah, we were singing along to it. It was playing during the beginning of the match, and it was fantastic. Yeah, it's also just such a good song too. So yeah, it might be pretty high up for me too.
Oh yeah.
Look, I like the final countdown. It's a great song. I don't listen to it and think Bryan Danielson. I would have gone with a. I think he's got a much better theme that was actually created for him than not just a bought song. So yeah, I would have been a hell no, but it's going to make the list. But Zach, what is the next one you're going to bring up?
Okay. Actually, I have a specific one that I actually know the name of. It's going a little farther down my list, but I'll throw it out there. "Burn in My Light," the old Randy Orton theme song. I like that more than Voices, and I would love to see that brought back at least maybe like one more time. I think it's a good theme, and like I said, I like it more than his current theme, so I'm going to throw out "Burn in My Light" for Randy Orton.
All right.
Jacob, what do you say about "Burn in My Light"?
See, this is where the one per wrestler thing is tough, because if we were just making a list of 12, I'd make a case for both of Randy Orton's. Unfortunately, I do like his current one better, personally, so I'm going to say no, but if it makes the list, I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah. This one is tough as I'm in the same boat where I really enjoy Voices more, but Burning in My Light, I do think is a good theme because it's one that's still on my sort of rotation when I listen to themes. I'm going to give it a slight no. Like, it's one of those ones like I like Burning in My Light, but I do think Voices is a better theme. Steve, what do you say about Burning in My Light from Randy Orton?
I would have said yes. Burning My Light. That WWE Reckless Intent CD. I literally went through it when the time I bought it at a Specs, and I would literally every time I go on the road, I would literally listen to that CD, like almost every day. So I would have said yes. Burning My Light. I really do enjoy that one more than Voices.
If you're talking, Malcolm, we can't hear you.
Oh.
I must have muted my mic for some reason. But Jacob, what is the next theme you're going to bring up?
Yeah, probably. I think one of the most iconic theme songs. I'm going to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, the glass shatters, the crowd pops, and it's just he's coming down. He's ready to kick ass, and like you feel it, like the crowd, and still, 20, 30 years later, almost 30. It still gets the same reaction. I think it's definitely stood the test of time. People love it. It's one of those like it can get you hyped up. So I'm gonna go with the glass shatters.
Yeah. So I kind of like the theme he had when he was the ringmaster Steve Austin. I think it was better. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I was about to leave the stream.
I'm sure somewhere out there someone likes.
I'm also people having their opinions, but I also need to learn to,
But yeah, no, the glass shatter is it's a great theme song. It ended up a little bit lower down my personal list, but I also to myself like if it's somewhere in like the top 40 on my list, I'm still probably going to say yes to it regardless. And yeah, it's still up there, and I think it's great. So as a yes for me. Steve, what do you say about Glass Shatter from Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Well, I'm not just gonna give this a yeah. I'm gonna give it a oh hell yeah. It's an iconic theme. I mean, listen, I know this was eventually gonna make the list, and I know one if it wasn't gonna be me, it was gonna be one of these fellow panelists that were gonna nominate it. And I was actually lucky enough to see Stone Cold live twice. One in 1998 for a live show, and for WrestleMania 32 when he came out after the New Day versus that around the world gimmick, and in 2016 to be able to be there for a Stone Cold pop post his career, it's nothing. It's like you have to be able to witness or hear a Stone Cold pop and be there to be just have that as a wrestling bucket list. And luckily, I'm able to check that in my bucket list. So yeah, oh hell yeah.
And Zach, what do you say about Stone Cold's Glass Shatter theme?
It would have been a definite yes because it was actually the first theme I thought of when this category was brought up was that one. So it was at the top of my list. So it's a yes from me.
That Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to make the list. For my next one, I'm going to try and get a female wrestler on here, and this specific wrestler is a demon in your dreams. And I'm bringing up Rhea Ripley's theme. Like, whenever this theme song hits, like you can tell, like all the other wrestlers like are trying to run away, like especially Liv Morgan. But if it's one of those ones that that she actually technically hit, like it's kind of it was kind of an updated version of her theme song that she had in NXT, because NXT, which there was pretty much the same theme, but it was just a different singer singing it. Then they got Motionless White to kind of make it the banger that it is now. And I think it really works. And even just seeing her come out, I think it was last year's Mania or the year before, where she came out with the band.
It was last year's
yeah,
Extra.
yeah. It's just one of those ones, and like you can tell how much she loves the band, but just from that one. So I think her theme song is great enough to be on here. So yeah, Steve, what do you say about Rhea Ripley's "Demon in Your Dreams"?
I'm gonna say yes. I think it's one of the few women wrestlers theme that actually hits as the kids would say. It definitely hits something different and it could mean a lot for a lot of people. And I think Rhea Ripley is probably an icon for a lot of people currently. And I think that theme goes hand in hand with her presentation, her look. I mean, the fact that almost every time you see her, she sings along with it. I think she's pretty satisfied with, having that as her theme and representing who she is. So I'm gonna give a yes.
Zach, what do you say about Rhea Ripley's "Demon in Your Dreams"?
Yeah, I have two other female ones on my list higher, but I do really like that theme, so I'm going to give it a yes.
And Jacob, what do you say about Rhea Ripley, "Demon in Your Dreams"?
Unfortunately, I think most women's wrestlers' themes are pretty forgettable, except for Rhea Ripley's. Once that hits and the crowd pops, like she's getting some insane pops lately. She is super over with the crowd. I think this song has a lot to do with it too. Like it's one of those that once it hits, like, all right, what's mommy doing? I'm ready. So I'm gonna give it a yes.
I don't know. I think Kelly's theme hits me in a different sort of feels.
Different kind of feel, I got.
But that Rhea Ripley is going to make the list. Steve, we go back to you for your next nomination.
I'm gonna go with a current wrestler. It's recent, and I'm gonna go with Swerve Strickland. Swerve When I Drive. I mean, the song itself. I think the song itself is awesome. But the fact that you have Swerve Strickland swaggering his way down the ring, along with Prince Nana, just dancing, man. And not only that the dance also helped him. It revitalized him, as you could see recently from his match against Ricochet. He did the dance. He got up and he didn't get a ring count out. I really do enjoy this, and that this is a song that's it's more recent, but I think it will stand the test of time a couple years from now when we're talking about Swerve Strickland's run in AEW, and I think his Swerve, it will always be, that song will also always ring in people's head when they think of Swerve Strickland or as AEW. So Swerve Strickland. So let's see what happens.
Zach, what do you say about Swerve from Swerve Strickland?
Yeah, I have a lot more ahead of that one. So I'm gonna just give it a slight no.
Fair.
Jacob, what do you say about Swerve Strickland swerving on him?
Oh, I feel bad saying no to anything that's coming out of the state of Washington, because it's another Tacoma guy. Saw him at Wrestle Dream also, and yeah, the song fits him. Yeah, it's gotten super over. It might be towards the end of the list, but I'll give it a slight yes.
As someone that's not overly familiar with AEWs, I wouldn't. It's not really playing on anywhere for me here, but I just quickly listened to the theme song. It's fine. I'm not that tight with it, so I'm gonna give it a no.
Fair. Did my best.
I think the presentation really helps it. I think too, with like the entrance itself, I think helps the song as well. Like just the total package.
Yeah. But Zach, what is your next nomination?
Okay, I'm gonna bring up one that hopefully makes the list. I'm gonna go with Metal Ingus, the Edge theme song. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I think this song really hits, and especially with big moments. It definitely gets a big pop whenever it is played. So I'm gonna bring up Metal Ingus for Edge.
I think you mean Cope these days. Jacob, what do you say about Edge's theme song, Metal Ingus?
This might be a hot take. I like Never Gonna Stop by Rob Zombie better. I understand this one might be the more iconic and more recognizable when it comes to Cope, Edge, whatever he wants to go by. He has to, like, wherever he goes, the song is going to go with him because he knows the band. But yeah, I like the other one better, so I'm going to say no. But I'm not going to be surprised if it makes the list.
Yeah, I don't remember the Rob Zombie thing that he did, but this is one that I always remember. I think Metal Ingus is a great one, and just like the whole like you think you know me at the start, I think is just a good touch to it as well. So I'm gonna go yes to Edge. Steve, what do you say about Edge's Metal Ingus theme?
I mean, the fact that we can actually meme the Metal Ingus and with the fog. Like if you see a building collapse and you can superimpose the fog and it's Edge. He's come out dun, 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 on this day. Yeah, Team Alter Bridge here. So I'm big fan. I'm actually a big fan also of their Judgment Day song too. So like that was a banger too. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this because if you think you know me with the song, I'm sorry, but it is definitely surpassing my opinion the Rob Zombie. Sorry, Barbara, but yes, I'm gonna go with Metal Ingus, Alter Bridge.
But that
I like it. I just like the other one better. I'm not mad at it.
That Edge, it's going to make the list. Jacob, what is your next nomination?
He's just a sexy boy. I mean, I don't think he's a boy anymore though. He's getting up there in age. But yeah, this is one of the first few that I thought of too. When you said entrance themes, like it's been with him pretty much his entire career, at least as a singles wrestler. So yeah, sexy boy for Shawn Michaels. I don't think there's this and maybe Glass Shatters and another one that we might bring up later. Like there's a reason like those are so iconic and they've stood with them for most of their career. So yeah, sexy boy for Shawn Michaels.
I have a speak you to pull with like I'm going to bring up Kurt Angle's the sexy Kurt.
If he used it as a theme song, I might have.
but yeah, no, Shawn Michaels' "Sexy Boy." It's another one of those iconic theme songs. I think is just great. And yeah, it's just one of those ones. I think like everyone gravitates to. So yeah, it's going to be a yes for me. Steve, what do you say about Shawn Michaels' "Sexy Boy"?
I mean, I can remember the day when Sensational Sherry sang "Sexy Boy." So like, that song hits all the way to 1992, and still, we'll always associate Shawn Michaels with sexy boy, sexy man, sexy guy, sexy whatever, sexy NXT trainer. But yeah, man, definitely it's an iconic wrestling singer. When you think of that song, you think of Shawn Michaels and and everything that he's achieved over his career. So yes.
And Zach, what do you say about Shawn Michaels' "Sexy Boy"?
To be honest, I think the song is just okay. So I would have given it a no, but it doesn't matter now. So,
But Shawn Michaels is going to make the list. I'm going to try for this one. talking about wrestlers that have theme songs so iconic that they just follow them around everywhere. I'm bringing up Cody Rhodes, and while he's got this is one of those ones like I like all of Cody Rhodes' theme songs, even when he was Stardust. But I think his recent one that I think it started in AEW, but I think it's gone like so he can use it whenever like Kingdom from I think Downstreet did it and yeah, I think this is just one of those theme songs which I think is just awesome, and the fact that Cody Rhodes was able to keep it like, and it's wasn't one that was like I was like, we help you get it, you're not getting used anymore. It's like I think it's just one of those ones that's like it's just that theme song which everyone thinks of when you think of Cody Rhodes now, and yeah, so I don't know how this is going to go, but Steve, what do you say about Kingdom, Cody Rhodes?
I'm not mad at you adding Cody Rhodes to Kingdom. I would say yes. It's the song itself, it's extremely memorable, and in the fact that you have now that with WWE, WWE because they didn't do an AEW, but now in WWE when they say whoa, it's a crowd interaction deal. It makes well with the presentation. It describes what his journey itself, and I think it's quite a banger of a song from Downstreet. So I'm going to say yes.
Zach, what do you say about Cody Rhodes' Kingdom?
Yeah, I'm not as high on the song, and I actually think it's more known now just for the whoa part, just to see how big it can get. So I'm going to say no, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes through. So,
Jacob, what do you say about Cody Rhodes' Kingdom?
And you shouldn't be surprised because it is going to go through. I'm going to say yes. I love this song. I do think it's more than well. I think if you listen and watch, people are singing along to the entire song. They just get loud when the woe comes on, and then they get into it. So it's an easy yes. It started popping up like Spotify has this DJ now, and it'll like pop up every third cycle. Like we noticed you've been listening to this a lot lately, so here's other songs that sound like this. And I'm like, well, you just played that like 10 songs ago, but I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones because I think it was more noticeable. I think it was Backlash France with everyone singing along to it, especially when everyone was in the rings, like they were just singing along to the themes.
Yeah. The international crowds have been great lately.
Yeah. But that Cody Rhodes Kingdom is going to make the list.
Step it up, America.
Steve, what is your next nomination you're going to bring up?
My next nomination is for Code Orange. Let Me In for the Fiend. I mean, listen. There's could also be an argument for Shatter because I think that also kind of carries for a sentimental reason. But I want to go with Let Me In because just SummerSlam 2019. That whole deal of him introducing the Fiend to the crowd before he faced Finn Balor. You had this song pulsating, and it's basically a remix to his original song. It's just with more heavy metal chords to it, and it just hurt, hate, hurt. I think hurt, love, and hurt and love. Basically, the thing that on his glove, it basically said in the lyrics itself. I mean, it describes the character while remaking his lyrics from the previous song from Mark Kozert, I believe. And that I think that song it really rocks, and just there's something guttural, something about that song that just makes you just feel things about it. So I'm gonna go with "Let Me In" from Code Orange for the Fiend.
Zach, what do you say about "Let Me In" from the Fiend?
Yeah, well, I think it's a good song. I have a good number of ones above it, so slight no for me.
Jacob, what do you say about the Fiend's "Let Me In"?
Yeah, I love this. I think it fits the character perfectly. It's such a good remix of his other theme, which is also great. Like if you brought that one up, I would have been mad either. I think these are on par because of the character, and I think they fit the separate characters really well. So I'm gonna say yes. I think it's a perfect theme song for Bray Wyatt as the Fiend.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones. Like, I just love the fact they have like I don't know if it's technically part of the theme, but I love the fact they still open up the Firefly Funhouse and they transition into Let Me In. And I think it's one of those ones that I think it's just works. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I've listened to the Firefly Funhouse part of it more than I listened to Let Me In. But yeah, look, honestly, I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
I'm into the camp that I think Shatter is the better theme, but I will say there's a loophole that I might exploit to bring in Shatter. Whether or not I get to that point, I don't know. But the Fiend, we're going to let the Fiend into this list.
Hell yeah, that one's for you, Amanda. Here you go.
But Zach, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Hopefully, one of mine can make the list again. You know what? I'm going to go with one of the most popular ones, and it's at the top of my list. I don't know the name of the song. The Undertaker Gong one, the Dead Man theme. So,
yeah.
Again, very iconic. Everybody has heard it before. Everybody knows it. So, the Undertaker Dead Man theme.
I dig it.
It's one of those. It's annoying because there's a lot of different variations with different names on Spotify. I think the one you're thinking of is specifically called "Rest in Peace." That's the one I'm going to go with. But Jacob, what do you say about Undertaker's "Rest in Peace," Dead Man, whichever name you want to call it?
I feel like such a jerk saying no to all these because I just like other themes that they have better. But I do think the Undertaker should be represented on this list. I do think this is the more iconic one, even if I don't think it's personally the one that I'm going to listen to more. I do think it represents, the dead man character, the persona of Undertaker. So I'll say yes, but I want it to be known that I like "Rollin'" by Limp Bizkit better. I think I love that song. His WrestleMania 19 entrance is one of my favorite. But I'm not going to be mad at this one making the list either. This one is still iconic and fits him so well.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Undertaker theme I listen to the most. I think this is the one that I think is great, and it's one of those ones like, I think it's more telling for a theme song for the fact that he doesn't change it a lot. He may change it. It changes slightly with different variations on the theme, but it doesn't really completely change unless he's completely changing character from when he went into Rolling that. But I think this one works, and I think it's one of those ones it's actually honestly it's one of those ones that I think is good. So Undertaker Rest in Peace is going to make this list. Steve, what do you say about Undertaker Rest in Peace? Yeah.
I mean, it is definitely iconic. I mean, not as iconic as rolling from Limp Bizkit, but I still think this, like, when you think of the Gong, you think of the Undertaker. It's there, and I still remember like even when he was doing from 96 to 97 when he was before he was doing the Ministry of Darkness stuff, and he was still doing Undertaker with Purple Gloves. That song was just definitely describes Taker to a T. So yeah, I would have to agree.
But with that, Undertaker Recipe is going to make the list. Jacob, what is your next nomination?
Oh, there's only 3 spots left. I'm going to go with one that I think gets a pop every time that opening riff plays. I'm going to go with a Cult of Personality for CM Punk. I think it's a fantastic song. I remember I didn't know. I was such a casual wrestling fan, in the 2000s that like it was WWE, and maybe I watched TNA every once in a while, that I wasn't as familiar with the other companies like Ring of Honor. So when he used that, when he returned in, I believe, 2011, and that song started playing, I was like, oh, who's this going to be? And then, CM Punk came out, and I kind of learned the history of, him using that. So yeah, it's a fantastic song. It's one that I listen to, and I think people, that you could pick this. You could pick the Kill Switch Engage if you want to go WWE. There's another one that he used. He brought it back for the MJF match in AEW. That one was also really good. But when I think CM Punk, I lean towards Cult of Personality. So that's the one I'm going to go with.
This is probably the theme of Punk's I like more than this is one of those ones that that I didn't realize was an actual like it wasn't like just one that was created for Punk as an entrance theme, because there was one time when I was getting into wrestling and for some reason I was just playing GTA San Andreas and that, and then the Cult of Personality was like, hey, that's CM Punk's entrance theme. Which is like, and then I was like, hang on, that came out before Punk started using that theme. But anyway, but it's one of those ones that I think it's a good song. I think it's great. So yeah, it's a yes to Cult of Personality. But Steve, what do you say about Cult of Personality from CM Punk?
You know what? We have 3 more spots left, and I think I'm thinking of 2 other things. So I don't know. Yeah, I'll give it a yes. It is. I think probably the most iconic theme for Punk. I mean, we talk AFI and Kill Switch Engaged all day, but I think we can associate a Living Color with CM Punk forever on high. I'm sure it's going to be playing when he gets inducted to to Hall of Fame. So yeah, I'm have to agree, and it's a great song. And his entrance to WrestleMania 29 is probably great, being played by Living Color to the ring, while accompanied by Paul Heyman. So yes, I'm going to say yes.
And Zach, what do you say about Cult of Personality from CM Punk?
I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan, and I have a lot of songs higher than that, so I would have said no, but it already made the list. So,
it's back to me. So many things I want to bring up, and only 2 spots left.
Yeah,
I think that.
Listen to.
Yeah, I think the time is now to bring up. I was going to pick up a Swerve, but I'm not going to. But if I don't bring it up, no one. I'm worried it wasn't. Not even. I'm bringing up John Cena's "My Time Is Now."
Of course.
Because I think it's one of those ones where I think it's cool when you've got these like wrestlers having these entrances made for you. I think it's even cooler when you have an entrance, a person actually singing their own entrance theme as well. And I think My Time Is Now. I think it's great. And I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I remembered that the whole John Cena album existed, I went on to Spotify and added all those songs to the playlist because I forgot about that. But yeah, and I think this is just a cool theme, and yeah, it's going to be sad like to see him not hear it as often after this year. But Steve, what do you say about John Cena's "My Time Is Now"?
I mean, the time is now, and it is the last time this year that we're going to see John Cena wrestle. So, I mean, it's a song that also has been memeable. I mean, the fact that we had that radio show prank, and his name is John Cena. I mean, just for the fact that I would listen to that skit over and over again, and the fact that it's also something that I associate with because I grew up with Cena 02 when he came out. Ruthless aggression, and then from the time he became the Dr. Thuganomics to hustle, loyalty, and respect. So I basically grew up with Cena. And I think I think he definitely deserves to be on the spot because when you think of that, the brat, especially the opening brass, I mean, immediately Cena. So yes, John Cena.
Zach, what do you say about John Cena's My Time Is Now?
See, now this is one I'm conflicted about because I actually like Basic Thugonomics more. I think that's a cooler song, but this one is more iconic now. Sure, why not? We have 2 spots left. I'll say yes.
And Jacob, what do you say about John Cena's My Time Is Now?
I I am also in the camp of I think Basic Thugonomics is a better song, but when you think of John Cena and you think of his entrance, you think of My Time Is Now. Yeah, that opening, that do 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 do, like it's so good. And so yeah, platinum rapper John Cena should definitely be on the list. So yeah, it's crazy. He's 100% on his albums. They've all went platinum. All one of them.
But that John Cena's My Time Now is going to make the list. And we go back to Steve. What is your next nomination? And this is the last spot.
Jeez.
We go from the time is now to it's time to play the game. I mean, I have to, we had to put Triple H on here. Motorhead. It's forever. It people will talk about it's my time. People will say, "Oh, that's the better theme," or "Bow Down to the King" is the better song. But no, the game, Triple H, all day long, Motorhead. Lemmy, rest in peace.
Such the Undertaker.
Zach, what do you say about Triple H's play of the game?
This is another hard decision because we only have 1 spot left, and it's not even on my list, but I know how iconic it is. I actually like Bow Down to the King a little bit more, so I'm just going to give it a slight no.
Jacob, what do you say about Triple H's play of the game?
Yeah, I think I kind of, showed my cards there when Steve brought it up. I was like a little relieved because I was like, there's a big one missing, and I think this is it. And yeah, I think you could have brought up any of the 3, and I would have said yes to it because I think they're all iconic in their own way. But when I think this is going to be the one that plays when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Like this is what's going to be over the speaker. And yeah, I think it represents him for the majority of his career. Like I think the other themes that he had represented him for that time. Like this, I think this represents like he is the game. So I'm going to give this one a yes.
I'm now imagining Triple H trolling everyone, start playing My Life or whatever's early his early theme song is when he was
that one.
Yeah. And there's like transitions to play the game, but yeah, Triple H is well deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, and he's well deserved for this theme to be on the list. Like, it's such a great theme, and it's another one that I listen to it a lot, and it's also one of those ones that that like Triple H and Motorhead are pretty synonymous with each other as well. Like, even though it's never going to happen, but I think if Triple H was ever good to go to AEW, he's probably going to be able to use play the game over there as well. But that's never going to happen. But if that Triple H's play the game is going to make the list, Zach, what are some honorable mentions you had?
I had like 6 honorable mentions. Lita's theme song I thought I really liked. I don't know the name of it though. I don't know the name of it. Like Rey Mysterio's "Who's That Jumping Out the Sky," his old one. I liked that one. "Broken Dreams" by Drew McIntyre. "Written in My Face" for Sheamus. Solo Sikoa, and then the old Naomi WWE theme before she left. They've changed it up a little bit, but I like the older one. So
I think the one you're thinking of is I think it's still cool. I think it's called "Feel the Glow" or something like that. but I know the one you're talking about. Jacob, what are some honorable mentions you had?
Yeah, I had Judas for Chris Jericho. I think that was a pretty iconic one. I mean, especially when he couldn't use his theme song, and the crowd was like, "Well, screw you, MJF. We'll just sing it for him." I think that song was super over. R-Truth. I think I would have showed some love to R-Truth just because he was performing it every single time he came out, and it's just fun. And then I cannot for the life of me remember what it was called, but Aleister Black's NXT theme. That one goes hard. I thought that one's great. And then Finn Balor, his NXT. It's Code Orange again. For Aleister Black.
CFO. It's CFO Root of
CFO,
all
not CFO. Yeah. But yeah, then Finn Balor, his NXT and like Demon theme is also really good. So those are some of them that I had.
What? No love to
Incendiary. My bad. Incendiary.
What? No love to Finn Balor's theme he's got now when he came out to the Rumble. I mean, you'll recognize that. Yeah.
There were a few of us watching it on stream together, and we're like, "Oh, who's this?" And then Finn Balor comes out, and we're like, "What?"
Huh?
He's gonna leave the group, give him his old theme back.
Yeah. No. I'm not gonna lie. R-Truth was the one I was considering swerving to do the swerve for when I was bringing out John Cena. It was like I couldn't do it because I wasn't too sure if Cena would come up. But I'm actually a big fan of Rey Mysterio's theme that he's got now. The Booyaka 619. I think it's good. Seth Rollins' Visionary theme is another one that I think is one of those that gets the crowd hyped in that. Look, say what you want about Death Rebel. I really enjoyed Chelsea Green's Hot Mess theme song a lot. And this was even before they added it's Chelsea Green to the start of it as well. And then and it's one of those ones like I actually really like Matt Hardy's solo theme, Live from the Moment as well, as well as Jeff's theme and then just add one for fun crowd reactions. Jey Uso's main event ish, I think, is fun too. Steve, what any honorable mentions that you had?
I only had two really that would have come on if we had more spots, but I thought about No More Words by Jeff Hardy, Ever and After. I seen that. I mean, it was briefly, and he brought it back for a little bit, and then went back to Hardy's song. And Just Close Your Eyes, Christian theme, but like the one that was on Volume 6. It's the one with like the hardcore chick. They're like, just close your eyes. But like, yeah, those are really the two really ones that didn't make the list that I want to see on the list. See how they fare.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is the first time I've had trouble coming up with the number 12. Like, I love all these theme songs. Oh, also, shout out Mark Henry. Somebody's going to get your ass kicked.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that one.
Steve, what do you have for 12?
All right, so my criteria, if it's on my playlist, I'm probably going to put it on my top. So I don't have Undertaker Rest in Peace in my top.
Zach, what do you have for number 12?
Cult of Personality.
Jacob.
Metalingus.
And I've got Bryan Danielson. We've got four Chai. So we've got Bryan Danielson, Rest in Peace, Metalingus, and Cult of Personality. Which of those four chat do you want at 12?
I'm just not even going to bother erasing my board.
And we've got Brian in the chat, and he says Undertaker.
That would have been my number 11.
I didn't actually.
All right. I'm gonna have to See, okay. Because then we're gonna be here all night if we keep doing this. All right.
Well, I mean, I was actually just getting the banner sorted because
No. Yeah, no. I was talking to myself. If anything, I'm just like I was wondering whether I should change, do something different, or go with some people. You know.
Well, I mean, you're the one that said Undertaker, so
No, I know. I had to change my vote, so I'm wondering if I should go with something new or go with somebody who's voted for something. That's what I was arguing with myself about. So,
but it's all good. I thought, but Zach, what do you have at 11?
I haven't changed my cult of personality.
Jacob,
I also did not change Metalingus.
I also didn't change Brian Danielson. Steve,
I'm on Team Zach, cult of personality.
also going to the chat. I missed this earlier, but JPO's pissed at us. Look, it's just one of those ones like I'm just it's an okay song, but I like the others more. If it was iconic wrestling themes, it would have been different. Jacob, what do you have for 10?
Metalingus.
Brian Danielson. Steve.
Sexy boy.
Ooh.
Zach.
Kingdom.
Wow.
Oh, we've got four-way tie again. We've got Sexy Boy, Kingdom, Brian Danielson, and Peter Lingus. The first comment I see will decide which one gets to be at 10. And it is going to be Brian with Metal Lingus.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sticking with Brian Danielson. Steve.
I'm sticking with Sexy Boy.
Zach.
And I'm sticking with Kingdom.
And Jacob.
I said Demon in Your Dreams, the Rhea Ripley.
I've got another tie. I've got Demon in Your Dreams, Brian Danielson's The Final Countdown, Sexy Boy, and Kingdom. The first comment I see will most likely be Brian. We'll decide what ends up at 9. Brian's going after the big.
Yay!
Whoa! At number 9.
Steve, what do you have for number 8?
I have something right now that I'm writing, and it's Demon in Your Eyes.
Zach.
Kingdom.
And Jacob.
Yeah, I didn't change Rhea Ripley.
And I also didn't change. I put Brian Danielson. And Steve, it's actually Demon in Your Dreams, not Demon in Your Eyes. But I knew what you meant.
Demon in Your Eyes. Close enough.
Zach, what do you have for 7?
Kingdom.
Jacob.
I said The Rising Sun.
Brian Danielson. Steve.
Kingdom. Okay. All right. Damn. Let me see. Damn. All right, fine.
Right.
Okay.
Jacob, what do you have for 6?
The Rising Sun.
Second with Brian Danielson.
Danielson.
Zach.
I had The Fiend.
But Brian Danielson, final countdown is going to be at 6. On me, and I'm going for Shinsuke. Steve, what do you have at 5?
Fiend.
Zach.
Fiend.
And Jacob.
Rising Sun.
So we've got a tie. So between the Rising Sun and the Fiend, the first comment I see. It's an okay theme, Rich. But Brian.
Brian, you betrayed me.
Rising Sun.
Brian, you betrayed me.
Down to the final 5, 4.
4.
We got Stone Cold, Fiend, Cena, and Triple H. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect him to be this high, but I'm not mad at it.
But Steve, what do you have for number 4?
The Fiend.
Zach.
Fiend.
Jacob.
The Fiend.
I would have gone Steve Austin, but the Fiend is going to be at 4.
Oh, now this is where it gets tough. Honestly, this is the top 3 I expected. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one.
Also, Steve Austin, John Cena, and Triple H would make an interesting tribute. I don't know if it ever happened, but Zach, what do you have for number 3?
The Game.
Jacob.
John Cena. Get it? Because you can't see it. Get it?
Steve Austin. Steve.
John Cena.
Now, this and so we're going straight to number 1. But and it's between Steve Austin and Triple H.
All right. Right. We're going over number 1, right?
Zach, what do you have for number 1 between Steve Austin and Triple H?
Glass Break.
Jacob.
I think this is the hardest decision I've had to make on Rankum so far. It was like 51 to 49. I went with Triple H.
I also went with Triple H. Steve.
Austin 316.
So we end on a tie. So, chat, you get to decide the number one on Rankum. Is it Triple H or is it Steve Austin? The first comment I see will be the deciding vote. And it is going to be Triple H.
Wow. Betrayal.
From last to first.
Stabbed in the front and stabbed in the back.
Also, I just realized I said I liked voices better and then never brought it up for Randy Orton.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Sorry, Randy.
He's watching. I sent the link out to him.
Well, that's for. I drafted it because we're doing a fantasy thing for Lonely Marks, and I drafted him, and he hasn't shown back up yet. So maybe it was out of spite.
Yeah. But with that, our top 12 wrestlers entrance themes. At number 12, we've got Undertaker, rest in peace. At 11, we've got CM Punk's Cult of Personality. At 10, we got Edge Metalingus. At 9, we got Shawn Michaels Sexy Boy. At 8, we got Rhea Ripley Demon in Your Dreams. At 7, we got Cody Rhodes' Kingdom. At 6, we got Bryan Danielson's The Final Countdown. At 5, we got Shinsuke Nakamura, The Rising Sun. At 4, we got The Fiend, Let Me In. At 3, we got John Cena, My Time Is Now. At 2, we got Steve Austin, Glass Shatter. And at number 1, we got Triple H and Play the Game. But
Sorry, I dropped him for Rey Mysterio. I'm good.
But with that, that is the end of Rankum for this week. Next week, it's going to be. I looked at this earlier, but I didn't actually notice. I'm pretty sure it's songs from live action musicals of the 2000s.
I was hoping Anthony Mackie would pull it out.
Actually, no. It's actually top 12 Seinfeld episodes.
What a come from behind.
Yeah.
Emphasizing the behind.
But so top 12 Seinfeld episodes is going to be next week. But Steve, where can people find you online?
They can find me online, Mesa Media One on Facebook, on Twitter. They can find me on Instagram at smesa85. They can, I'm working on a collaboration with Suplex Vintage Wrestling, which is it's a vintage wrestling store in Deezerland Mall in Orlando. Actually, this is where I got this cool, old school, windbreaker here. And they have many more stuff. They have old magazines, they have toys, they have, anything you think about wrestling. They have VHS tapes, DVDs, Blu-rays, all that jazz. So if you're in the Orlando area and you like wrestling, check out Suplex Vintage Wrestling. Yep. And that's it for me.
And Zach, where can we find you online?
Yeah, you can find me mainly at YouTube and Letterboxd at MovieFanZ, but also you can find me on Multiplex. You can find me on Lights Out and the Pierce Co.
Jacob, where can people find you online?
Yeah, the main place you can find me is every Thursday at the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast, where we talk some wrestling. This week we'll be we ranked male wrestlers from different decades, and we're going to start doing the women's wrestlers. So that's going to start happening this Thursday. I compete in Lights Out. There's an Oops All Lyrics exhibition match tomorrow at 10 Eastern. So check that out. And then twitch.tv/Castifer. He's starting a sports, Clash of the Combatants. So I'll be a part of that. My match will be on Thursday at 9. So that's where you can find me this week. Thanks for having me.
And you can find me on Take 3 Productions as I host Ranking every week. Next week is going to be top 12 Seinfeld episodes. And you can also find me on my personal channel, Middle Earth Media. Last night, me, Jacob, and JPO talked about WrestleMania 28. Next time I'm going to be talking about Vengeance 2006. I haven't picked a guest for that one yet. So should be an interesting thing. And then I'm popping up even here and there. I'll be on Movie Hero Network this week, doing the later series of 96 movies. And yeah, but that is all from Rankin this week. Until next time, just remember, yeah.
It's showtime.